Wondering how to cope with COVID-19 stress and depression? Don't worry, you are not alone. Since the beginning of the COVID outbreak, depression has become more prevalent across the United States. The COVID-19 pandemic has altered every aspect of our life, from health to work to education, bringing a variety of health, financial, and emotional hardships to ourselves and our loved ones. Stressors such as loneliness, isolation, and academic stress can make students more vulnerable to depression. A study by JAMA Network Open, a medical journal, reveals that mild depression prevalence among adults was 16.2% before COVID and 24.6% during COVID. The staggering increase in the depression rate has jeopardized many people's mental health.
We are living in unprecedented times. Each person responds to these stresses differently. But for many people, the pandemic has resulted in increased stress and anxiety. When your stress is not managed properly, you may face additional hardship in an already difficult time. Before jumping to the solutions, how do our minds form negativity emotions in the first place? When something bad happens, for example, like failing or making a mistake, you feel bad. When it's repeated, our minds form negativity, which is a connection between bad circumstances and bad feelings. At this point, this connection is just a habit that can be learned and unlearned. However, when we get used to thinking negatively, it will be our negative beliefs that are much stronger than just a habit. We will start thinking, oh, whenever I am in this situation, bad things will happen and I will be unhappy. What happens after that is that we will form a negative thinking pattern, which affects our behavior and the actual outcomes. In other words, we will start thinking negatively, reacting more negatively to situations, and feeling less and less happy as the vicious cycle continues.
Let's see how we can cope with stress. The very first step is to understand what we are feeling. As we explained, negative thinking can lead to even more stress and unhappiness. Whenever you feel bad about a situation, say online learning, quarantine, or whatever that stresses you out, pay attention to your feelings. While it is okay to feel bad, be aware that your feelings are temporary emotions. Recognizing your emotions can be a key to reverse the vicious cycle of negativity and turn it into beneficial thoughts. Now that you have a general idea of COVID-19 and how you're feeling, go out and take some steps to be happier. There are many ways to cope with COVID-19 and have a control of making yourself happier. It is especially important to stay healthy in quarantine life. Yes, you're at home. There are tons of pizza and candies you got from the store. However, balanced, nutrient-rich food can promote happiness. On the contrary, a diet high in sugar and carbohydrates is known to increase the risk of depression and anxiety. You might think that sugar helps you feel better, but the way sugar works is that it suppresses a part of your brain that controls your response to stress. Though it feels good for a while when you eat sugary food, relying on sugar eventually inhibits your overall ability to cope with stress. Instead, practicing a healthy diet that includes fruits, vegetables, fish, and whole grains is an effective way to reduce depression risk in the long run.
Well, you can't just keep eating, right? It's also important to exercise. Yes, we don't feel like running around when we feel blue, but physical exercises are associated with increasing life satisfaction and reducing depression. This is because your brain releases happy hormones such as endorphins, dopamine, adrenaline, and endocannabinoids when you exercise. These hormones fight against stress and anxiety. This is the psychological reason that physical exercises can buffer stress and prevent related mental health issues. Go for a walk with your family. Practice yoga in the living room. You'll notice how your mind and body feel light after some exercises. You ate, you worked out. Now what? It's time to go to sleep. The healthiest duration of sleep is 7 to 8 hours. Both too short and too long duration of sleep are associated with severe health consequences. Poor sleep schedule and quality keep you tired, make it harder to cope with minor stress. Going to sleep at night and getting up in the morning is ideal because the brain releases melatonin, the hormone to help you fall asleep at night, and feeling the sunlight when you get up releases serotonin, the happy hormone to feel fresh in the morning. Staying on the set schedule helps you feel that you're on track even in this time of uncertainty. Have a good sleep every night.
As we explained, there are a lot of activities that you can do to transition yourself toward a healthy mindset. On the other hand, according to research and studies, a significant impact toward COVID-19 is social connection. This includes connecting with people through FaceTime or writing letters, spending time with family, loved ones, and friends, and asking for help and resources. For human beings, social connection is important because we strive for relationships and communication. Even stated by Aristotle himself, humans are social animals. Right now in quarantine, you have all the time in the world to shoot a call or FaceTime to anyone you are close with. Check up on them and see how they are doing. In addition, now that everything is transitioning to online and on the phone, there are a lot of resources for you. For example, a resource that students in UC Berkeley can find useful is simply the University Health Services website for COVID-19. You can get updates on the campus, resources for testing such as Tank Center, and even a communication dashboard for you to talk to anyone if you are lonely or bored. Another example is us. We, the marketing team in Berkeley Psychology Group, have a talk box, Ask PPG, on our website and would love to accept any questions or messages, whether it is personal and deep or just a simple quick talk. Social connection can improve your quality of life, boost your mental health, help you live longer, and decrease the factors of mental illness such as anxiety or depression.
Studies show that social connection is a better determinant to health than obesity, smoking, and having high blood pressure. Social connection doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be present with people and is more on the subjective experience of feeling understood and connected to others. Another review of studies illustrated that individuals with stronger social relationships had a 50% likelihood of survival. Moreover, social connection can increase the feelings of belonging, purpose, and happiness, can promote self-confidence and self-worth, and increase connections to your social bubble. In general, it doesn't hurt to socially connect with people when you have time in quarantine. Asking and seeking for help is also good.
Now you have learned how to cope with depression during the coronavirus pandemic. We hope that our suggestions helped. Berkeley Psychology Group is a student organization dedicated to make psychology accessible for everyone and raise awareness of mental health. Stay tuned for our future videos. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and keep a lookout for the stories and posts on the website. See you next time!